Now what's going on, Mr. Slide back here and welcome back to the channel. When this whole story about Regina Daniels and Ned Nwoko broke, I said this lady would most likely be lying. Now the problem is when you find yourself in a situation as a man, when these ladies are laying an accusation against you, if you don't come out to say something, they're going to say, since he did not reply, that means it is true. But then we are lucky because today, Senator Ned Nwoko, the future Anyoma governor, has come out to make a statement. So without much ado, we're going to get to the statement and it's going to prove most of the things I tell you guys here, and we're going to learn a lot. Let's get to the video for today. But let's start with this post here from Senator Ned Nwoko. It says, these videos show Sammy, Regina's brother, repeatedly coming to my home and harassing my children and domestic staff, especially whenever I was not around. His visits were often aggressive and disruptive. Let's go and see the video in question. So this is him shouting over there.
You attempt that thing again to display what I go display for you.
I must say, this is what happens when you allow a small boy like that to come to your compound and play because you are married to his sister. That was a big mistake Ned Nwoko made. But we're going to come out of this. Let's go back and go and read what Ned Nwoko has come out to say. Senator. He says, Sammy is someone I sponsored through his last 2 years as investor of Eboma. I bought his musical instruments, rented and furnished a flat for him in Abuja, in addition to the house I bought for Regina in Asaba before our marriage for the use of all of them. So basically, he moved the whole Bako family from wherever they were staying, the shithole they were in, into a mansion, paid for the boys' school fees, basically setting up not just Regina, but the whole family as a whole. I also routinely provided allowance to all members of the family, including her mother, Regina Daniels. Indeed, in the last 2 years, I have a record of transferring 125 million naira to her alone. Bros, that is not small money. If a man invests this amount of money in his wife, that is not small money. When he's taking some type of steps that Ned Nwoko is taking now, I can't blame him. When Regina started her rehabilitation, so she had a drug problem, there was a clear instruction by the doctors to strictly restrict people, especially her enablers, from having access to her. The therapy was arranged after I noticed troubling changes in her behavior linked to her dependence on certain illegal substances, including going for 48 hours without sleeping and eating every 2 hours. Now, people are coming out to say, Regina Daniels does not look like a drug, whatever. They're not the right type of face some kind of times. We have seen videos proving and showing Regina being high alongside this Sammy of her brother, the idiot. So that is undisputable fact. Moving on, unfortunately, Sammy, Destiny, some of their siblings, together with a few of their friends, notably Sonia, Uche, Montana, among others, constantly defied those instructions. They would come into the house uninvited, sometimes forcing their way in, and would bring her the same drugs she was being treated for. I tell you something, guys, your girlfriend, her friends, those in her circle are the ones who are responsible for spoiling her. We tell you guys sometimes that cut your friends off. They'll say, who are you to tell me to cut my friends off? You cannot decide for me. They know that they are hooked on something that their friend is giving them. But the more they stay hooked on it, your marriage, your relationship is what will suffer it. It is important to note that Lawrence, Simon and his girlfriend, NK, Destiny, Sonia, and others took the same drugs as Regina. In fact, Lawrence and Sammy were the ones who first introduced and supplied these drugs to her. They were deeply involved in the habit themselves, and rather than helping her get better, they kept drawing her back into the same destructive lifestyle. I do not drink alcohol nor smoke. In fact, I'm a vegetarian. So I found these characters and behaviors reprehensible and totally unacceptable. If you want to marry a lady, look at yourself and look at her. If you see traits in her as counter to your own trait, that relationship is messed up already. The problem is most men go into all these things thinking, I am going to be the one to save her. You cannot save her. If this is how she is, then that is how she is. Just 4 weeks ago, I woke up around 4 a.m. and realized that Regina was in my room and on the phone. She was clearly high and she knows that I do not want her in my room in that condition. I asked her to go to her room and she told me that Sammy's girlfriend was in her room. I was alarmed and angry because that girl should never have been in my house, let alone around Regina. since she's one of the enablers who constantly brings her substances she's addicted to. When you get married, I don't see why your wife's friends should come and be staying in your place. If your wife is bringing her friends into your house, number one, she's disrespectful. Number two, she's looking for problem. Because last, Papa, as the word of Nkemowo, an erect phallus has no conscience. Your husband might go on to go and lash your friend, and you cannot blame him. I'm just telling you now, you can't blame him. You know, if you put food for lie on the similar and not chop him, he go chop him. I told Regina that the girl had to leave, and one of my drivers dropped her off. 30 minutes later, Sammy came to my house shouting and demanded that I come downstairs to face him. See finish. He said I had no right to ask his girlfriend to leave my house. He was ranting and threatening, waking up everyone, including the children. Eventually, I went downstairs and had to instruct the security to physically push him out of my compound. The level of audacity was shocking. Without the influence of drug, would he have been so bold and disrespectful? Well, bro, Senator, I'll be honest with you, you don't allow this boy, you don't allow him to see you finish. You don't allow him to see you finish, so he not get respect for you anymore. You know, you get some kind of playing with the play. I tell men, if once you get married to a woman, Baba, draw the line. Don't say in brothers, they're not fit they come they back below around the area. They're not fit they come around the area every time, like say on a spot, on a tourist spot. No, they must respect the sanctity of that marriage. Respect that home. It's a matrimonial home. It's no longer your sister is in a relationship. Your sister is in a marriage. Once your sister marry, whatever nonsense that they do together and they go, they play, they club, it stops. Respect it. They did not stop there. On several occasions, they verbally assaulted and intimidated the police officers stationed at the house for security. The officers were simply following instructions to restrict access for the sake of Regina's recovery. But Sammy and his group would insult and threaten them. Whenever Regina wanted to go out and I was not around, she would become extremely hostile towards the police and domestic staff. He would shout, threaten, and use abusive words, insisting that she must leave the house no matter what. Guys, cast your mind back to that video of how she was shouting, "Oh, let me be. I'm not a woman in your house, man." This clearly proves what Ned Nwoko is saying here. And it's true. That is Regina's character. Let's go on to the second part of what he said. Quite a long one, but make Nigeria great again. We need to learn from the man, see his experience, and know better. There were at least 2 serious incidents where she left the home in the evening and did not return until the next day. The first incident, she returned in the morning around 9 a.m. When I asked where she had been all night, she casually said she was at a nightclub. Bros, you have to know this. If you're a married girl, they observe them. If you want married girl, observe them. If she's the type of person who likes club, you cannot stop her. It will take something that happens at the club to stop her. Maybe person if you give her belly when he jam for that club, now you go make her come stop. After she don't come give you the baby, or you no go know why. You could say now baby change her, but not be the baby change her. Now, fact say one guy for that club don't give him something she can't give you. When I questioned why she would stay out all night, ignoring my calls and refusing to answer messages, her response was, "You are not my father, so don't ask me where I was." Many people are going to say, "Regina, Ned Nwoko, you dey lie. I lie. How will she say you're not my father?" Let me take you to this post real quick right here. This post here says, let's just roll the tape. In this post here, in this video, Ned Nwoko is saying something. Let's listen to him.
So the first is not from this. This first is from her not resting. Oh, she will not tell me, "Look, you are not my father." She will tell me, "I swear to God." She said, "You are not my father." I said, "No, I'm your husband."
Now, you can see what he clearly said. This is when things were still sweet. Oh, this is when things were still sweet. He said, after sometimes you come and say you are not my father. Baba, not be the same thing the guy they make for his statement here. Isn't the same thing he's saying, "You are not my father, so don't ask me where I was." I found out that he was with Cassie, and that Cassie was staying in Regina's house in Life Camp. Cassie is the chemist and supplier of the group. I had to go to Life Camp at 6 p.m. to ask her to leave. With her around Regina, the therapy became a joke. On another occasion, on the kids' birthday to be precise, I returned home with the kids because Regina said she would stay with her Nollywood friends for dinner. She didn't return until 5 p.m. the next day. Your children's birthday, oh, your children's birthday. I took so much nonsense just for the sake of the kids. I also knew that drugs had a lot to do with it. This is something that men are not accepting, or this is something that the public is not accepting about men. It's the fact that you see most men stay in crazy relationships like this. The more they stay, the more it is easier for the woman to paint him as a bad guy to the public. But you don't know that this man is staying for a lot of things. He's staying for the kids. He's staying for the fact that he has invested a lot into the home. He's staying for the fact that you guys have probably bought a joint property together, and he has no choice. He just can't break away, because if he does, it will destroy the marriage, destroy the family, destroy or most likely reshaping the future of the children in a broken home. As for her reasons for continuing with drugs, she will always say, just like her mother, that it is a celebrity lifestyle. They will always mention two well-known pop stars. No go marry actress. I tell you, there's a video I'm going to review soon. I will try and get the link out. It was a girl who said what happened to her when she went for a casting show. She said the lash craze come up for me, the lash and like say tomorrow no day in the name of being an actress. The kind of lifestyle these actresses live, my guy, as an ordinary man, you can't live up to it. Someone like Ned Nwoko, he no go mind. Premium say he get like 7 other banners on ground and some on side chick basis. For you, guy man, when you find the love of your life, you meet only one woman, he can't be actress, you can't go marry him. Okay? Imagine the pain of a husband trying to help his wife recover, only to have the process sabotaged by her siblings and friends, the people who should have been supporting her healing. This pattern of behavior made it almost impossible for her to recover. Each time progress was made, they would undo it by smuggling in the same drugs she was fighting to give up. The entire household lived in tension and fear because their constant harassment, interference, and disregard for boundaries. It would be interesting to know a reason for the violent behavior in the house the day that Sammy and other siblings came and attacked my staff and security, taking Regina away after doing a video which they posted the next day. Why did they do that video? Guys, it is clear. I'm telling you, it is clear. That attitude of her shouting, oh, I said I am not buying it. The attitude of her crying in the public and doing all those, I'm not a wife in your house, I just knew this was rubbish. They simply planned and orchestrated a script all in my absence, regardless of the fact that my kids were there. They took away many things from my house, including one of my money, phones, and many other items. Everything that happened that day, I was in my house, it was done in my absence. Nobody was beaten. Nobody could have thought about that. It is bluntly false to say that I sent dogs to beat Regina in another house. The video that went viral was filmed entirely in front of my house by Regina's sister and her friend. It was a pure Nollywood scenario in front of my property in my absence. No marry actress. Sammy should have a life of his own outside of Regina and focus on building his career independently. When his brother Lawrence went to London a couple years ago to do his master's degree, I personally sponsored him with $75,000 for tuition and upkeep. I sent him abroad, partly to help him escape the toxic environment of drugs and bad influence around him at that time. Out of fairness, I offered Sammy the same opportunity, but he declined. He has since been arrested by the EFCC and the police. Listen, I'm even getting tired of reading all of this. Basically, what this shows is that when you are marrying a woman, you must do this. You must not only vet her, you must vet her family. Because take it as you wish, even if you want to try and cut her off my family, you will always have to interact with her family one way or the other. If you're marrying a woman, Baba, vet her family, vet her friends. And when you get married to her, in fact, before you get married to her, let her know some rules are going to take place here. Number one, we are cutting off your friends. Your friends are not going to interfere in our marriage anymore. That's just how it is. When we're in a relationship, your friends could come and say, what's your boyfriend do? Not good though. But now we are married, they have no say in what goes on here. So don't take our story to them. If she says, I have a problem with that, my friends are my life. Baba, just leave that girl there. Not waste your time. Not waste your time. You get some kind of career of babes you need to avoid as well. Actresses, avoid them. They tell you avoid actresses. It's just what it is. I won't go more on that. Now, the funny thing is, Regina Daniels came out to drop her own statement, which is BS. And I'm not saying this out of a place of bias, but for the sake of fairness, let us watch or let us read what she said. So this is Regina Daniels here. She was, I don't know whether she couldn't type it out on Twitter or whatever. She decided to just paste it as a picture screenshot of her notes. And let's just see something here. This Ned Nwoko's post was viewed 9.3 million views. And this lie by Regina Daniels was 274,000 views just tells you it's lying. I know you don't judge things by views, but you get what I'm trying to say. Ned, okay, let's see, where do we start from here? Because I don't even know where she started from. I just feel so ashamed that all this had to come out the messiest way. First of all, who brought it out? Auntie, now you go record picture for front of Ned house, record video. Come they give everybody. May they see say, you are not a woman in his house, you are a woman in his house. Let's see what she first said. She said, Ned, how could you lie so openly and without even small remorse? You know my family has absolutely nothing to do with this. You have always tried to cut them off because of the bond we share, and now you are trying to make them look bad for no reason. If a family is that chaotic, you can see the way the brother came to Ned's house shouting. If a family is that chaotic, you have no choice but to cut them off. It's just what it is. Fine, I did drugs. Oh, so you agree say they do drugs. So what? Is that even the issue between us? The moment you had a fight, you rushed to the public shouting drugs, 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 because you knew to make a perfect story for the media. Mo could just accept the fact that she agrees say she do drugs. She not argue. So if you agree say he get one thing when they talk for inside when they true, why should you feel we shouldn't believe that the other things Ned said were not also true? You want to find a reason to arrest everyone around me so that I will have no one left beside me. No friend, no support, no safe place to turn to. Then, when I'm completely isolated and broken, I will be forced to come back to you because I will have nowhere else to go. When you marry your husband, not be for better for worse. When you marry man, not be to stay together forever. So, where you want to go again? Just tell me, where? Let's go on to the next screenshot. That has always been your strategy. Break people down, make them weak and powerless, and then have your way with them. But guess what? It's not going to work this time, not anymore. You say you want me to go for rehab, but you are the same Ned who always wanted me high because in your words, I'm sexier when I'm high. You like me that way because it made me wild and romantic, exactly how you wanted me to be. What this proves to you is simple. Girls then when they high, baba, na about 9 they be. Girls then when they high, they not get meter for the pickles, so just know that. So if you don't say your babe they high, just don't say you not be the only guy with the sample and go. If she they high for your back, baba, they high am for your back. Why don't you also tell them how you force yourself on me whenever I say no? Okay, I never expected this. I didn't even know this was the next line I was going to read. Because when I saw this line, I paused for a minute. I said, are we still talking about your husband? Are we still talking about the man you are married to? Or are we talking about your boyfriend? But then I remember, wait, it's your husband we are talking about. So how does this fit to the scenario of why don't you also tell them how you force yourself on me whenever I say no? Why don't you tell them how you lock me up, seize my phones, and suddenly declare me mentally unstable the moment I say no? The moment I say I no longer want to be in this relationship. But once I change my mind just to get out of that locked room, suddenly I'm fine again. I'm no longer mentally unstable and apparently not in the need of rehab anymore. Let's go to Haron. Why don't you also tell them that all your wives and ex-wives are on drugs? And can you be kind enough to explain to them why that is? Madam, you are claiming something. I don't see those ex-wives on this and shouting, I'm not a woman without a woman. I do not see that. Those ex-wives or wives or whatever marry themselves graciously. Why? Because they know the kind of man they are married to. They know that the kind of man they are married to, they don't just represent themselves as women, they represent the man's image. So if he married you, being a man and elder statesman, being a political figure, being a leader, being a future normal governor, and then you now come out here to disgrace him, then you are the black sheep amongst them all, even though you are very fair. Why don't you tell them how you take my phone for weeks just because you hate that I talk to my family a lot? Lies. You have never seen me act incoherent, stumble or lose control, so just stop. Every problem we have had started when I no longer wanted you, whether sober or even high. Stop using the drugs narrative to create distraction. Tell people the truth. I understand, Sha. You are feeling rejected and hurt and you are struggling to make peace with the fact that it's all over. Obviously, we know this is a very dirty lie. Let's be honest. Number one, Ned can get even a much more hotter, much more beautiful, much more everything than her. We all know Ned was the one who brought her out of the shackles that she was, being a so-called actress without any better role, without any better showcase, without any better show in cinema or Netflix as the case may be. Ned made her who she is now. Now she's the leader of the Senators Wives Association, whatever. Now she's meeting with the president of Gambia, where Ned Nwoko is going there for official visit. Now she's flying all over the world and she's talking about how he is hot that he has lost her. Yeah, I mean, this is why I tell you, say you need to get your money up. Why? Not because say you need to get your money up to go get babe. No. It's so that if one babe mezebu, you know, say you are standing firm and other babes could find you. No be could rush them. You can't tell me Ned is feeling sad, he has lost her. The problem is this: he is married to her, she is taking it as a relationship. If you take note, some of the things she says here, I'm no longer interested in this relationship. She did not say in this marriage because she's very childish. Let's go on. I think this is the final one. Let me make this very clear. No matter how much you think you spend on me, it can never equal the value of time I gave you, my prime years, my energy, and the career opportunities I sacrificed while being with you. Hey. So Regina Daniels basically is saying she would have won an Oscar awards had she not been married to Ned Nwoko. She's basically saying she would have been much more popular than Joke Silva. She would have been beating Funke Akindele. She would have been beating Shola Sobowale. She would have gapped all of them. I should not be married to this rich man. I should not be married to this man that was putting her in private jets. I should not be married to this man who was flying around the world. She would have been better than Funke Akindele. Which kind of stupid thing is this woman saying? Let's look at your record before you even married this man. You were nothing, you were not known. So how can you now come and say that he was the one who stopped you from being an Oscar award winner? And for the record, I would have filed for divorce long ago if there was ever a legal marriage between us. We were never married in any court of law and no documents were signed. Leave me alone, Ned. Marriage is not by force. Love is not by force. Stop trying to control what no longer belongs to you. Let's go back slowly. And for the record, I would have filed for divorce long ago if there was a legal marriage between us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm clapping. I'm clapping for Ned Nwoko. I say this and I've been telling Nigerian men, do not go and do legal marriage. I don't believe in it. I do not believe in all this going to Ikoyi for the court marriage. Let's go back to doing just traditional marriage, paying the bride price, doing all the traditional rights, and moving on. That is what we need. Had it been safe, first of all, Ned was in America and she was in America and they did some kind of court marriage, she would have ruined this man in court. Gentlemen, even in Nigeria, I am telling you, unless maybe Ned could try, moving hand one or two ways, make it be say court, not tell and say make it pay some kind of hair money like that. Otherwise, she would have tried. I show you guys what goes on at the justice courts when I review their videos. Although I've stopped now since they started attacking me. But you see that Nigerian women are taking their husbands for spousal support, taking their husbands for child support. It's coming to Nigeria, guys. Let us do away with all these court marriages. Let's start doing traditional marriage. With that being said, guys, I support Ned Nwoko on this. This is not just a man supporting a man. This is a man standing for what is actually right. And he has come out to prove all the points as why she is a troublesome person. But she has only come out to say, you miss me because I don't want to come back. That is why you are angry. That is not a response. Who do you think is doing this right here? Do you think Ned Nwoko is doing this right, which I believe he is? Or do you think Regina Daniels, the line Lamudus, is doing it right? But with that being said, let me know what you think. It is what it is. I'm out.